Have you ever been in an argument with someone you love and it just spirals out of control? You both walk away hurt, frustrated, and nothing gets resolved. What if I told you there's a way to disagree, even passionately, that actually makes your relationship stronger? It sounds impossible, right? But today, we're going to unlock the art of compassionate disagreement. Stay tuned, because this could change how you communicate forever. Welcome back. Let's get real. Most of us are terrible at arguing. We get defensive, we interrupt, and our main goal becomes proving we are right. This is the biggest pitfall. We see disagreement as a battle to be won. But what if we changed the goal? What if, instead of trying to win, we tried to understand? That single shift is the key. Healthy disagreement isn't about avoiding conflict. It's about embracing different viewpoints as a chance to learn more about the person you care about. Before your next tough conversation, take a second and set your intention. Silently tell yourself, my goal is not to win this fight. My goal is to understand where they're coming from. This simple act changes the entire dynamic of the conversation. So how do we actually do this? Let's build our compassionate communication toolkit. The first and most powerful tool is active listening. This isn't just waiting for your turn to talk. It's about truly hearing what the other person is saying, both with their words and their emotions. A great technique is to reflect back what you heard. Something like, "So what I'm hearing you say is that you feel overwhelmed when..." This shows you're paying attention and validates their feelings, even if you don't agree with their conclusion. It's not about admitting they're right. It's about acknowledging their reality. It immediately lowers their defenses because they feel seen and heard. The next tool is a classic for a reason, using I statements. It's the difference between saying, "You never help with the finances," which is an attack, and saying, "I feel stressed and alone when I'm managing the budget by myself." See the difference? The first one is a blame game that will immediately put them on the defensive. The second one expresses your personal feeling and need without pointing a finger. It invites collaboration instead of a fight. You're taking ownership of your emotions and explaining your experience, which is much easier for your partner to hear and respond to productively. Now for the empathy bridge. This is where the magic happens. It's the ability to step into their shoes, even for a moment. You don't have to agree with their perspective to understand it. You can say, "I can see why you would feel that way, given your past experiences," or, "From your point of view, I can understand how that would be frustrating." This doesn't mean you're abandoning your own position. It means you are willing to look at the issue from their side of the bridge. This act of empathy is incredibly powerful. It builds connection and shows that you respect their perspective, which is a fundamental part of making someone feel loved and valued. Of course, even with the best tools, conversations can get heated. We all have emotional triggers, those sensitive spots that, when poked, can cause an outsized reaction. The key is to start recognizing your own triggers and your partner's. Does a certain tone of voice set you off? Does the topic of money always lead to a fight? When you feel that heat rising, your heart pounding, your face getting hot, that is your signal to pause. This is not storming off. This is a strategic timeout. You can say, "I'm feeling really overwhelmed right now, and I'm afraid I'll say something I regret. Can we please take a 20-minute break and come back to this when we're calmer?" This pause isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength and a commitment to protecting the relationship from further damage. Let's talk about some real-life scenarios. Finances are a huge source of conflict. One partner might be a saver, the other a spender. Using our tools instead of "you spend too much money," it becomes, "I feel anxious when I see our savings go down because my goal is to build a secure future for us. Can we talk about a budget that makes us both feel safe?" For parenting, maybe you have different discipline styles. Instead of undermining each other in front of the kids, you have a private conversation. "I feel it's important for the kids to learn consequences this way. Can you help me understand your approach so we can find a unified strategy that works for us both? Even with divisive topics like politics, you can preserve the relationship by focusing on the underlying values instead of the specific policies. You can say, "I know we see this differently, but I respect that your view comes from a place of wanting what's best for people. Let's focus on what we have in common." Sometimes the goal isn't resolution. Sometimes you just have to respectfully agree to disagree, and that's okay. The relationship is more important than being on the same side of every issue. Here is the most beautiful and surprising truth. Learning to navigate disagreement this way can actually build deeper intimacy. It sounds crazy, but think about it. When you create a safe space where both of you can be honest and vulnerable without fear of attack, you build an incredible amount of trust. You learn the deepest parts of each other, your fears, your hopes, your values. Conflict is no longer a threat to your bond. It becomes an opportunity to reinforce it. You're showing each other that your connection is strong enough to handle any disagreement, and that is the foundation of a truly resilient and loving relationship. So, here's your roadmap. First, set your intention before any difficult conversation. Understanding over winning. Second, practice active listening and use I statements. Third, build that empathy bridge. And fourth, know when to take a strategic pause. This isn't about being perfect, it's about being intentional. It's a skill that takes practice, but it's one of the most rewarding skills you will ever learn. Start small. The next time a minor disagreement pops up, try just one of these tools and see what happens. You might be amazed at how a small shift can transform a potential fight into a moment of connection. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I hope this gives you a new perspective on how to handle those tough conversations. If you found this helpful, please give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more content on building stronger, healthier relationships. Let me know in the comments which tool you're going to try first. I'd love to hear from you. Take care and see you in the next video.